Good morning and welcome back to class. I do apologize for what happened. It turned out it was an internet issue. So I quickly changed locations and going back to recording this class for you. As I said previously, was that I did go to a retreat. I was teaching some yoga classes there, but also joined in retreat, and it's called the Conscious Creator. And it was about, you know, finding out who we really are and how we sabotage ourselves so that maybe we don't become that conscious creator. And one section that we did was on uh, nurturing ourselves and on, I should say, nourishment and sabotage. So sabotage is sort of like presented to us as how many of us really have done things, we've said yes to something, and deep down we know we don't really want to do it. And what we taught was like, if it feels wrong in the body, you have that feeling and you're saying, yes, I'll do this, but really deep down you don't, we need to listen to that and say, no. If the whole body feels, yes, that's okay, I'm good with this, then do it. But if you've got that little feeling inside of you that's going, maybe I don't want to do it, then don't do it. Just listen to ourselves. The other part was the nourishment. And I've never thought about it as nourishing our body. It could be as simple as going outside of your house, just standing outside with your head up towards the sun and feeling that warmth of the sun coming into your body. It could be stepping on your mat in yoga. It could just be taking a deep breath in and out, walking in the woods, anything that can calm the mind and the body down and make you feel a little bit more rejuvenated. So our challenge is to sort of take this off of the mat and into our everyday lives. So when we get that feeling of like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, maybe it's just a moment of nourishment for ourselves that we need to get ourselves back on track. So let's take a moment to center ourselves, bring ourselves onto the mat, leave the outside world behind, and focus on our practice today. So a nice straight spine, relaxed shoulders, just rest the hands gently on the thighs. Take a deep breath in and exhale, and then just come in tune with your natural breath and its rhythm. Just an observation, don't need to do anything about it. Does the breath feel relaxed or strained, shallow or deep? Is there any stickiness in the breath as you inhale and exhale? Then notice your mood, your energy level, and your mental activity. Again, these are just observations, being the witness. Then bring your awareness back to your breath. Noticing any changes. Maybe there are some, maybe not. And then set your intention for your practice today, whatever that might be for you. And slowly open your eyes. And we're going to start off with some sun breaths today. So bring your fingertips to the mat. And as we inhale, we extend the torso upwards. The fingertips touch and we exhale, keeping that extension of the spine, of the torso. Inhaling, moving our energy upwards. Then the fingertips touch, coming back to the mat. One more time, inhaling and exhaling. Then take your right ear to your right shoulder. Place your right hand on that head. We're not going to yank the head up. It's just gently holding it down, getting a nice stretch on the left side of the neck. One more breath. Release the hand, bring the head up, and as you exhale, take the left ear to the left shoulder, left hand, to the head, and breathe. One more breath. Bring the head back up to center. Then drop the chin towards the chest. And then slowly roll the head round in 3 circles one way, then the other. Being aware of any feelings, cracks, tension that you have in the neck. Make your movements slow. We're in no hurry. And bring your head back up to center. Take an inhalation. As you exhale, ground yourself, ground those sits bones down, and twist to the right. And take 3 breaths. Inhale, come back to center, and as you exhale, twist towards the left in 3 breaths. And then come back to center. Walk your hands forward, coming into a cross-legged forward fold, and take 5 breaths here at your full expression of the pose. Slowly walk your hands back upright. If you're sitting on anything, remove that. Come to laying on the ground with your legs directly in front of you, insides of the legs and insides of the feet touching. Arms that come up and overhead, come on the ground behind you. Take an inhalation and an exhalation. On your next inhalation, push through those heels, raising those legs up towards the ceiling, soles of the feet facing the ceiling, and take 3 breaths. And then slowly bring the feet back down to the mat with control. Don't let them flop down. Then as you inhale, push through those heels, raise those legs up. And again, 3 breaths. Then bring the feet back down to the mat. Again, inhale, pushing through those heels, raising the legs up for the 3rd and final time. Taking 3 breaths. Then bend the knees, bringing them into the chest. Give yourself a hug, bringing the hands around the shins, coming into Pawanasana, air releasing pose. Then place the hands behind the knees and gently roll, massaging that spine building up momentum until you come up to sitting. Coming onto your sits bones, standing the legs forward. Inhale, bringing the arms up. And as you exhale, fold forward into a seated forward fold for 5 breaths. Inhale, come back upright, and then come to your hands and your knees for Anahata pose. We want the toes curled. We want the knees directly underneath the hips. And we're going to walk the hands forward, bringing the chest down towards the mat. You can either bring your forehead down to the mat, or if it's open to you, bring your chin to the mat, taking 5 breaths. Opening the heart, but also a deep back bend. Then walk the hands back towards your torso, uncurl your feet, and come to sitting on your heels for Mandukasana. We're going to take our hands and we're going to bring the thumbs in, making a fist. We're then going to bring these hands into like the tops of the thighs and the bottom of the belly. We'll inhale and fold forward, but we don't want the hands to twist like this. We want to keep the hands and the fists upright. Inhale, creating space in that torso. And as you exhale, fold forward. We're going to take 5 breaths here. We are massaging our internal organs, but you might almost have a restricted breath too. 5 breaths. Inhale, come up slowly. Release your hands, just rest them for a moment on your thighs. Close the eyes. And just take notice of how you feel. And then come to sitting on the mat with your legs in front. This is where you might need your strap for Gomukha Asana. We're going to take the right leg and cross it over the left. Now you can stay here if you have really tight hips or hamstrings, or you can bend it and it comes to the outside of the right foot, of the right hip, sorry. We're going to take the left hand, stretch it out, turn the palm, bring it around and up the center of the back. Take the right arm up, bending it at the elbow. Holding onto the hands or the strap. Rest your gaze gently in front of you. You can even close your eyes. And we're going to be here for 1 minute. Relaxing into the pose, keeping a nice straight spine. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Nice gentle smile on the face to keep the face relaxed. And release the pose. Maybe roll the shoulders a little bit. Bring the hands out to the side. Walk them forward to come to resting on that top leg and taking 5 breaths here. And then just be walking the hands back, coming upright. Unwind the legs and wind the other side up. Left leg over the right leg. Again, you can keep the right leg straight, or you can bend it, making sure it comes to the outside of the left hip. This time the right arm is coming out and extended, turning the palm away, around the back and up the center of the back. Take the left arm up by the side of the head, bending it at the elbow, taking hold of the fingers, joining it together, or the strap, whichever works for you. Keeping the facial muscles relaxed, the spine nice and straight. Relaxed gaze or close the eyes. And release the pose. Release your gaze, nice and gentle. Unwind the legs. Bring the feet to the floor. Make sure you're sitting on those sits bones. Then walk the feet back towards you. Raise them off of the floor, coming into your version of boat pose. You can hold onto the legs if you need to. If you can straighten them, straighten them. Nice straight back, engaging the abs. Beautiful. Bring the feet to the floor and come to lying on your belly for some cobra variations. When you come down, bring your forehead to the mat and then bring the hands in front of the forehead. The tips of the thumbs meeting and the fingers, so it's like a triangle. Then as you inhale, squeeze the glutes together and gently come on up. One more breath. And come down. And then gently come up again as you inhale, looking straight ahead, relaxed face. One more breath. And come down. Inhale again, coming up. 3 breaths. And then come down. Then move your hands so they're in line with your shoulders. We don't want the arms sticking out. We want the arms back by the body. Again, squeeze those glutes together as you inhale and come up. 3 breaths. And come down. Inhale again, coming up. and come down. One more time, inhale, come up. And come down. Bring the hands underneath the forehead, making a pillow, and relax. Relaxing breath. Just let the body relax, hang out. Now move the hands so they're in line with your chest. Again, elbows in, shoulders are on the back and down. Inhale, squeeze those glutes together and then rise on up. 3 breaths. And come down. Inhale, rise on up, squeezing those glutes together. One more breath. Come down. Inhale, come back up. Again, squeezing those glutes. This time, curl the toes under. Raise those thighs off of the ground, coming into your version of upward facing dog. Bring the thighs back down to the mat, uncurl the toes. Bring the torso back down to the mat. Roll onto your back, coming into Shavasana for 45 seconds. Let the body relax. Don't fall asleep. Just rest in being. Relaxing, resting, breathing. Now bend the legs, bringing the feet to the mat, prepping yourself for bridge pose. Maybe your fingers can touch the back of the heels. It's what we're aiming for eventually. You can have your arms straight by the side of the body, or you can bend them at the elbows if that helps you get up into bridge more easily. So when you're ready, inhale, raise those hips off of the ground. The chest comes towards the chin. Push through those heels. Don't let the legs splay out to the side. We want them directly in line with the hips, pushing down with the feet with that connection. Taking 2 more breaths. Squeeze those glutes together. And then slowly bring your torso down to the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. Again. Inhaling, raise those hips up. Shoulders are relaxed, coming down the back. Pushing through the thighs, the knees down into the floor, squeezing those glutes. And then bringing the torso back down again. Just bring the knees into the chest for a hug. Let the belly relax. Then bring the feet back to the mat. And then again, inhaling, coming back into bridge pose. Yoga's choice. You can stay here, or you can raise one leg up towards the sky, pointing that toe, then bringing it down, taking the other leg up, bring that foot down, take 2 more breaths here, and then slowly bring the spine down to the mat. Let the legs go long, and again, coming into rest pose again for 45 seconds. Breathe, just resting, being. Let your body and mind assimilate what you have just done and what you've asked it to do. Easy breaths. Bend the legs so the feet are engaging with the mat. Roll to your right side and come up to all fours. Keeping the toes curled, raise those knees up, coming into downward dog. Bring your focus to your fingers and make sure that all the finger mounds are engaging with the mat. Your fingers are wide on the mat. And then pushing through the arms away from the hands, taking the side bodies long. Maybe the heels come towards the ground, maybe they touch, maybe they don't. Taking 5 breaths here in downward dog. Now move the feet so that the feet are touching. Come over onto the pinky toe side of the right foot. Extend the left hand up towards the ceiling, coming into a side plank. Breathe. Bring that hand down. Come back to center. Come over onto the left foot. And again, take the right hand this time up towards the sky. Maybe the gaze goes up. Maybe it looks at the horizon. Maybe it looks down at the mat. Bring the hand back down to the mat. Come into another downward dog. And then walk the feet forward. Coming into Uttanasana. Standing forward fold. Inhale. Come all the way up. Bring the hands down through the heart center. Then release the hands into Tadasana. And take a moment to check in with your posture. Where is the weight on your feet? Is it on the balls of the foot? Is it on the heels, or is it nicely balanced? Is your body in alignment? Your ankles, your knees, your hips, your shoulders. Just an observation. Now take your feet shoulder width apart. We're going to do a version of triangle pose. Bring the hands together, palms together in front of the heart. Raise them up in line with the nose. Keep your shoulders down the back and relax. Gently look up between your hands or arms. Inhale and exhale here. Transfer your weight onto your left leg. And as you exhale, twist towards the right. Inhale, extending the torso skywards. And then as you exhale, come into a slight back bend. Beautiful. Come back to center. And then again on it, transfer your weight to your right foot. As you exhale, twist towards the left. Inhale, extending that torso up. And then as you exhale, coming in again to a slight back bend. Don't lock the knees. Come back to center. Release the arms and step up. And again, just come into mountain pose, Tadasana. Again, checking in with yourself, your posture, your mood, your mental activity, your breath, your energy level. So bring your arms out to the side and then take your feet wide. Toes are facing forward. This is another version. We want the feet sort of in line with the elbows. Don't lock the legs. And breathe. And then inhale, stretching that torso upwards, but at the same time, bringing that left hand up and over to the right, getting that side body stretch. Extension, right hand comes down the leg. Inhale, come back up to center. Again, inhaling, bring that right arm up, taking the torso over to the left. Left hand goes down that leg. Come back to center. Step the legs together. And again, check in with your body, your posture, your mood, mental activity, all of those good stuff. And breathe. Setting ourselves up for tree pose, making sure that we have a good foundation on our standing leg. We use the left leg as our standing leg. So engaging the shin and the calf and the knee. And remember, one breath, one movement. Take that right leg and place it on your left leg, wherever it is for you today. Squeezing into that midline. Then pushing down through that standing leg, and maybe you feel the torso rise up and out of the hips. Keeping the hands in the heart center today. Just think about how you can nourish yourself. Nice gentle gaze in front. Shoulders are down the back, tailbone coming down. Squeezing into that midline and breathing. Releasing the hands, releasing the foot, shaking that leg out. Other side. Make sure you have a nice firm foundation, rooting yourself down into the ground. And then when you're ready, move that left leg to wherever it is for you today. And remembering that one side might be different to the other side. Squeezing into the midline again, bringing the hands together in front of the heart. Push down through that standing leg. Maybe you feel a slight upward movement of the torso. And breathe. Three more breaths. And release the pose, shake out those legs. Getting ourselves ready for eagle pose, another balancing pose. We don't want to stick the butt out when we go down. We're just kind of coming down, so we're going to sit in towards a chair. So again, slightly bend the knees, transfer the weight to the left leg. Then place that right foot on top of the left, and then wind it around. Bring out the right arm and place the left arm inside, and then wind the arms. Gently look at a spot in front of you. Bring the arms up and off of the chest. Maybe you can sink a little bit lower. Maybe not. Two more breaths. And release the pose. Feel that rush of energy as you come out of the pose. Other side. Bending into the legs again, nice and gently. Take that left foot. Place the thigh over the right. Oops. Left arm comes out. Right arm goes in the crook. Beautiful. And breathe. Maybe sink the hips down, maybe not. And release. Shake out those legs. Then let's take the legs wide. Toes facing out and come into a wide-legged forward fold. Just let yourself hang. Hold on to the elbows of each arm. Let the waterfall come down the back and off of the head. Now bring the hands to the mat and straighten the arms, extending that torso forward. Move the left hand so it's in line with the nose. And as you exhale, twist towards the right, bringing that right arm up towards the sky. Fingertips reaching for the sky. Bring that hand back to the mat and put the right hand in line with the nose. And as you exhale, twist towards the left. Reaching for the sky. Bring that hand down to the mat. Come onto the toes and bring the heels in. So you have the heels in, toes facing out. Bend into the knees and bring each hand to the thigh and bring the torso upright. Bring your hands in front of the heart, palms together. And then take them wide, hands bent, goddess pose. Come on to the right toes, lifting that right heel and down. Left side. 2 more times each side. Sometimes we need the strength of the goddess pose so that we don't sabotage ourselves. We can take the time to nourish ourselves. And then raise both heels up together, taking 3 breaths, strong pose, strong legs, strong torso, strong mind. Bring the heels to the ground, straighten the legs and the arms into 5-point pose. Reaching the crown for the ceiling, crown of the head moving upwards. And breathe. Maybe heel toe your feet in a little bit, toes out, heels in. Bend into the knees, coming down into Malasana, garland pose. Bring the palms together. We're pushing the elbows into the knees and the knees into the elbows. Tailbone is going down towards the ground. A nice straight spine. We don't want it rounded or hugged. We want a nice straight spine. We are also strengthening our ankles here. Gently close the eyes and check in with your breath, your mood, your mental activity, your energy level. Maybe you have an insight into what you need to do to nourish yourself, mind, body, and soul. Bring your hands down behind you. Bring yourself to the ground. Legs directly in front of you. Toes are flexed, so the legs keep grounded. Inhaling, bringing the arms up, shoulders on the back, hinging from the hips, fold forward into a seated forward fold, whatever version you have of that today. And breathe, turn inwards. Find your quiet space. And bring your hands to the mat. Walk yourself upright. And place the hands behind you. Inhale, coming up into reverse plank. And back down. Bring yourself down to the mat. On your back, so legs bent. Raise the feet off of the floor. Bring your hands in between, coming into your version of happy baby pose. Just let yourself rock from side to side in tune with the breath. Or you can roll around in circles. You can stretch the legs. And then when you are ready, you can bring yourself down into Shavasana using any props that you need. Keep yourself comfortable, keep yourself warm, but not hot. As when we stop moving, the temperature in our bodies can drop. As you begin to get comfortable in Shavasana, take a nice deep breath in, exhale through the mouth, allowing the body to relax, release, and rest. This is also a time when the mind can become active again. We want to keep the mind quiet. So keep the front door and the back door open. Let your thoughts come and go. Just don't invite them for tea. Take a quick scan of your body and notice any areas of tension. Try to release that tension with your exhalations. Take another deep breath in and allow yourself to rest and relax deeply. Your feet are heavy and sinking into the ground. Your ankles are heavy and sinking into the ground. Your knees are heavy and sinking into the ground. Your hips are heavy and sinking into the ground. Your hands are heavy and sinking into the ground. Your arms are heavy and sinking into the ground. Your shoulders are heavy and sinking into the ground. Relax your forehead. Soften your eyes. Let your lower jaw drop away from your upper jaw. Relax all facial muscles. Your head is heavy and sinking into the ground. Before we rush to doing, we must first rest in being present within the grace that allows us to be our unmasked selves, right here where we are. I invite you into deep relaxation. Om. 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 Take a deep breath in, bringing consciousness back into your physical body. When you feel ready, you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes and stretch, bringing movement back into the physical body. Take your time, there is no hurry. And when you feel ready, you can bend the legs and roll to your side and take some breaths there. When you're fully awake, come back to a comfortable seated position. So I'd just like to read you something from this book called All Along You Were Blooming. It's Thoughts for Boundless Living. And the closing passage I'd like to read is, I cannot tell you the color of tomorrow's sunrise, or what hues will burn like leaves before your eyes. I cannot tell you which plants in your garden will bloom before others, or which ones you will have to prune and wait for a season longer. But I can tell you, tomorrow is on its way. You will step into another all new day, awake. So if today we don't start to nourish ourselves, we always have tomorrow, a new day, a new beginning. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for your practice today, and I apologize for the hiccup we had earlier this morning. Take care and hope to see you next week.